Hello, thank you for stopping by my channel. I'm Kristin, and in today's video, I am doing a different take on a pizza. I've never had a pizza like this before, and it's kind of a take on a popular sandwich. So if you'd like to see what it is, that I'm gonna do, then just keep watching. All right, first thing you gotta do when you're making a pizza crust is you gotta bloom some yeast. So I have a measuring cup here and I'm filling it with warm water to 3/4 of a cup, and then I'm gonna put in a couple tablespoons of honey because yeast needs sugar to bloom and start frothing up. If you don't have sugar, it's not gonna work. So then I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon of yeast in the cup like that. And then I just let it get mixed into the honey water and just let it start frothing. So in the meantime, I'm going to start putting my dry ingredients into my stand mixer here. And I'm going to start with 2 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. I will link this recipe in the description box for you, and then you can make it yourself if you want. We like to make pizza in our house when it gets cooler out because you have to have the oven up kind of high. They cook at like 425, so we usually like to make homemade pizza in the cooler months. So I'm going to season my dough with garlic powder and a little garlic salt, just kind of as your taste. And then you got to let it, after you've got it all mixed together and everything and you have your dough, then you got to let it sit for like 30 minutes. So I'm starting this in the afternoon to make sure it has enough time to get nice and big. And I just realized I have the wrong attachment. I have the paddle attachment on my mixer, and I should have the dough hook, not dough book. So here it is. I'm gonna switch it out real quick. Easy mistake, right? Easy to fix too. It's okay. But where would we be without our stand mixers, right? Very important. Makes it very easy. I could mix it by hand, but it's just so much easier when you have your mixer to do the work for you, that's for sure. Okay, so as you can see, my yeast has bloomed like that and she's ready to go. If you put your yeast in the warm water and it doesn't froth up like that, then it has been killed and it's no good. Throw it out, get some new yeast. You have to have it foamy. Okay, then I just pour the yeast into the flour mixture, and then a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Or you could pour the olive oil into the yeast too. You could do that. Either way, I don't think it really matters the order in which you do that. But I'm just taking my little spatula here and just scraping down the sides of the mixing bowl just to kind of facilitate the mixing process here. Get all that flour into the yeast and let it go. There we go. And then we're just going to let it mix and mix on pretty high speed until it starts pulling away from the sides of the bowl, like it's starting to do here. And this is exactly what you want right here. You have a nice dough ball. So you're all ready to put it into a bowl. You want to drizzle some oil in there so it doesn't stick. Make sure your bowl is generously coated in the oil. I just used olive oil. Use anything, use whatever, it doesn't matter. I mean, you don't want it to be weird, so, stick to a neutral oil, okay? So then I'm going to take the hook out to get my dough out of the bowl. As you can see, it's a nice, smooth dough ball here, and that's exactly what you're looking for. Just like that, it's wonderful. Okay, so then you just plop it into your bowl like so. Move the dough ball all around so it gets coated in the oil so it doesn't stick to anything. Okay, and then I'm going to lightly cover the bowl with some plastic wrap. That will help to hold the heat in, and it'll help your dough rise quickly-ish. It's pretty chilly in my house this time of year, you know, before we have the heat going all the time and the wood stove going all the time. And so it's just, it still proofs pretty well with the plastic wrap. I just have it under the light on the stovetop there. And look at that. In no time at all, it has doubled in size. I have 2 doughs here because I'm making 2 pizzas for my family. But I'm just going to be showing you one of them. So in the recipe, it says to put Italian dressing on the pizza crust because this is going to be for an Italian sub pizza. You know, a take on an Italian sub sandwich, right? Like, you know, with the pepperoncinis and all that, but in pizza form. So my family wasn't too enthused about that idea, so we as in my daughter and I, we like to have a white pizza sauce. So we thought that would work really well with this. It's just a garlicky, cheesy sauce. And you start with the roux, equal parts butter and flour, let that cook down, then add in the milk, which was 1 1/4 cups. And then I'm going to season it up here with a little bit of salt. Also added in, as you saw, some grated parm. The shredded parm works better. I think you get better flavor out of that, but, you know, grated was what I had, so that's what I used. And then also to kind of have those Italian notes, like for an Italian sub, I added in a little bit of Italian dressing. So, and then as you just saw, I was warming up some oil and threw in some garlic because I want to brush on some garlic oil onto the crust. All right, there's my dog. He's helping me. And so then now I'm going to roll out my crust. So I just generously flour a surface. And then I get my dough out. I have my oven preheated to 425. I'm just going to press it out just to kind of get it started. And I'm going to roll it out pretty thin, as thin as I can get it here. We like a thin crust over here. How about you? What's your favorite type of crust? And do you like to make pizza at home? I'd like to know. Let me know. Comment below if you like to make your own pizza. If you enjoy doing that little process here. I like it because you can really control the ingredients that are going in and what goes on top. And I just really like to personalize my own pizzas. And my family loves pizza too. So it's kind of a win-win. And I don't mind doing it by hand like this at home. Like it's not that big of a process, you know. It's pretty easy to do. So, and I hope that by watching my video, I can illustrate that for you. You know, you could do it too if you wanted. It's pretty easy. All right, so I'm going to use my pizza screen here. You could cook this in a cast iron pan. You could cook this in a big sheet pan. Like whatever you have is fine. But for a crispier crust, I like to use these pizza screens here. All right, so I'm just going to put it on my rolling pin here. That kind of makes it a little easier to transport it over to the pizza screen. Then you just roll it on there. Make sure it's covering the whole thing here. Got it a little bit too much on one end, but that's okay. We just move it around there. And then you're going to have some overhanging of the crust on the pizza screen. So what I like to do, I just fold it under after I get it all situated on the pizza screen here. Like that. Takes a little bit of effort here. So then here we go. I just fold the crust under. There's no need to really trim it off. It's okay. Just fold it under, and then that will give you that kind of a lip around the edge of the pizza. It looks good, and it kind of, helps you have a guide to where to put your sauce, and, and then you get a fork. And you want to dock your crust so that big bubbles don't form in the oven. So this is what I like to do. And then I'm going to pre-bake it. I brushed it with the garlic oil, and then I'll just keep an eye on it until it's kind of, you know, I feel like it's pretty well on its way. So then these are all the toppings. I have banana peppers here. I have salami, pepperoni. I have lunch meat, ham, onion, and of course cheese. Now goes on the garlic Parmesan sauce, we'll call it. I'll write this recipe out for you. I don't have a link, but I have it written down, so I'll type it out for you in the description box. And then also you're going to put on some provolone cheese because that goes on the sub sandwich, you know. I have a little Italian seasoning here. I'm going to just sprinkle it over the sauce and the cheese. We're going to also go in with mozzarella, so, you know, don't get nervous. We're going to have plenty of cheese on here. So here goes the mozzarella. I just grated it off a block. I think that's way better than the pre-shredded stuff because they put like a coating on it to keep it from sticking. So, and it just melts so much better when you grate it yourself, let me tell you. It's just so much better. Okay, and then I'm just going to pile on the rest of it, the ham, the pepperoncinis. I could have actually, no, I didn't use pepperoncinis. I used banana peppers. I like those better than pepperoncinis. But I could have went with more banana peppers. The flavor with the tangy vinegary flavor is really good against the rich sauce and the pepperiness from the pepperoni. Okay, and then I just brushed the crust one more time with the garlic oil. And then I'm just going to put it back in the oven and let it finish cooking. We'll just keep an eye on it. This was like maybe 15 minutes, I'd say. And it was so good. It was so yummy. It was so cheesy. It was rich. It was creamy. The crust was awesome. Like, it was just a really good dinner. And you could serve this with a side salad. That would be good also. So that's it. That's all I have for today's video. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video, which is every week. See you in the next one.